Morning, everybody. Today we have a session on our novel, okay, The Fall of the House of Usher. Of course, we will start with the characters, okay? We don't have many characters in this story. We have the narrator, as you see, Madeline Usher, Roderick Usher, look here, the physician, and the servants, okay? Now let's see. The first one, the narrator. Okay, the narrator says little directly about himself or his character. He doesn't tell us much information about himself or the character. Okay, he doesn't share where he came from. He doesn't tell us about his country, what his own family life was like. He didn't tell us anything about his family or even his name. Even his name is unknown to us. However, his thoughts, his conversation, and his actions tell readers a great deal about him. Okay, we have known too much about him through his conversation, his thoughts, and his actions, right? Okay, he and Roderick were friends when they were young, when they were boys, but they weren't uh, so close friends, okay? But haven't been close since, despite his distance, okay? He cares about enough. He cares enough to travel to visit Roderick at his family home. Okay. What we know that both the narrator and Roderick Usher were friends, but each one of them lived in a different city or town, which were distant from each other. Okay, he is at ease with a wide range of books and music. Here, it tells us that he is fond of music and reading books. He also experiences the world through an abstracted lens. This can be seen in the story opening paragraphs when he tries to see the landscape around the house of Usher in terms of the subline promotion. Okay? The narrator's concern with Roderick is evident, is clear throughout the story, from the fact he visits to how he takes on some of Roderick's nervous condition and how he tries to care for Roderick as his condition, or especially when his condition became worse, or his condition became worse. Yes. The second character is Madeline Usher. Okay, Madeline Usher exists in the story except in two ways, only as Roderick's sister and double, and as the embodiment of illness. Her doctors don't know what wrong with her, only that she's wasting away and is subject to fits of catalepsy. Catalepsy is a name of illness. Her body becomes very hard, okay, like a piece of wood. When she becomes completely rigid, when her body hardens or becomes solid, she doesn't respond to the outside world at all. At this moment, it is like she is already dead. When she isn't suffering one of these spells, Madeline is barely more lifelike. She drifts, she moves by the wind, okay? From the place to place without speaking to people or seeming to see them, as if she were a ghost. Madeline's major appearance in the story occurs after she seems to have died. She's buried alive, and then she comes back covered with blood. Having clawed her way out of her tomb, she embarrasses her brother and they die together as the house collapses. Okay, and now with Roderick Usher. In many ways, Roderick Usher is the house of Usher. He represents the house itself. Okay, with his sister Madeline, they die together at the end of the story. Roderick is all that remains of this ancient house. Okay, and both local custom and his own beliefs link Roderick the man with the physical house. There was a connection between Roderick as a man and the existence of the house itself, in which the Usher family has long lived, as if they were one and the same. Roderick is an uneducated man and intellectual. He reads widely and plays music. Almost the whole of his existence is consumed by his sorrow over his sister's illness. He was depressed. He was in complete despair because his sister Madeline was ill. His own illness, he was also ill, and his resulting mental condition is pervasive fear, common fear, spreading fear. His visiting friend, who is the narrator, finds Roderick tremendously changed by what he has gone through. His illness and his sister's illness affected him. Okay? He's very pale. His eyes shine brightly. He's very thin. And his hair is white. Because of his condition, Roderick is extremely sensitive to external stimuli. Okay? He was very sensitive to things or event that evokes a specific functional reaction in an organ or tissue, right? Okay, which limits what he can eat, what he can hear or see, and even smell without pain. Though Roderick is on stage, he appears a lot in the story, throughout the story, and Madeline, his sister, largely isn't on the stage too much. Okay, Roderick as a character is bound to Madeline. As twins, they were born together. As adult siblings, they live together as people who are functionally two parts of a single whole self. They also sicken and ultimately die together. At the end of the story, they will die together. Okay, the fourth character is the physician. Okay, the Archer family doctor isn't named. We don't know his name and appears only once early in the story. Okay, when he just meets the narrator, who describes his expressions as combining low cunning and perplexity. Okay, which means confusion. This indicates he is genuinely confused. The doctor himself was confused. Why? Because of, yes, Madeline's condition, but also suggests he may be taking advantage of the family. Finally, let's see the servants. The usher servants appear only briefly at the start of the story, and it is unclear exactly how many servants the usher have. We don't know the number of servants they have. The narrator mentions one taking his horse and a valet who leads him through the house. Neither are named or described. Okay? We don't know anything about his name or description. Beyond the valet's stealthy step, and they disappear once the narrator is ensconced within the house. Okay, thank you so much. If you have any question, please send it on LMS. Okay? Thank you so much. Goodbye and good luck.